Welcome to the Blanketfort. Did you ever think you'd actually be in here? Interesting. So this is a time for Josh to review. Hello, this is my beard. I'd like to introduce it to you. I want to provide a review. I want to do a monthly newsletter about geocaching and let you know what's going on the show. And also to provide a review that you might find useful, I don't know, about a book that I'm reading or a book that I've read in the past or a book that I'm pretending to read that people will think I'm really smart because I've read. And I want to do that right here from the Blanketfort, Geocaching Scripture. Dun, 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 dun. There's a reason I don't do my own music. Anyway, today I want to review a book for you. It is called Time and Despondency. It's by Nicole Roccas. It's put out by Ancient Faith Publishers, I believe is the publishing house. Fantastic book on the connection between faith and what you might call depression, listlessness, apathy, life fatigue, which she calls despondency. The ancient monks used to call it acedia. And Kathleen Norris wrote a great book called Acedia and Me about some of the same issues. This one book by Nicole is just fantastic. It's just like very well put together, and it sort of studies how our faith, we can grab onto our faith and renew ourselves, renew our lives, that the current media culture, the current breakneck speed culture lends itself to this kind of life fatigue. That stepping out of that into the ancient rhythms of faith is the way to find rest and is the way to find renewal. One of the things that she has there that's very interesting, she has an item that the monk used to do called anti-rekatos. Anti-rekatos. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not Greek. But it is the counter statement. It's called a counter statement. So what is your counter statement to break the negative, draining thoughts in your head? So you start thinking, what's the point? Where's it all going? This is stupid. I'll never make a difference, or I'll never make an impact. Or, why would we ever stand against anything? The world is kind of falling apart at the seams. Various despondent thoughts. And your anti-rekatos, your counter statement can be Jesus is Lord, or God is in charge, or God is in control, or Pax Humana. That kind of thing that pushes out against this kind of despondency, this kind of fatigue or giving up in the pointlessness that's perceived in life. I love this book because it blends wisdom with Christian tradition. So it delves into the wisdom of life living that is intrinsic to our faith, because especially in the evangelical tradition, we try to get our theology so correct that it almost comes out too correct. The lines are drawn too clean, and we make it into a sanitized environment that's unlivable, and that is abstract, that has nothing to do with our lives, with changing what's going on in our souls on a daily basis. It's just sort of waiting around to go to heaven and you die, which is really not the point. John 10:10, I have come that they may have life and may have it to the full. That Jesus shows us that way to life and engaging in life, and that being a Christian is the best way to be in Him, and the best way to live life, daily life, here life, now life. Time and Despondency is just a fantastic book in that direction, and I can't recommend it highly enough. I would show you the cover, but I'm on my phone, and I've read it on my phone. So look for it. It's got a cool hourglass on it, and it's by Nicole M. Roccas. Okay, Geocaching this month, we did some very cool stuff. I had a guest on. I had my pastor on, Sean Whitworth. He talked about the prodigal son. Fantastic discussion of that. And I just did one today that I put up, that I'll put on the newsletter here about Judas. And he's just a really fascinating character. And I want to try to get out there with you guys and just review something that I think is worth reading once a month, if not more often. Would love to hear from you. Get back to me on the Facebook site or wherever you can, poke around and find me, on the website or anything else. Let me know what maybe you would want to explore in Scripture and what we could get into. I'll be having guests on once a month. My dad will be a guest on soon, and he's going to talk about Psalm 23. I'm going to have Caleb Williams on, who is the CEO, station manager of Clear Hits Radio, and he's going to talk a little bit about how media can be used to spread the gospel and to live out the gospel. Anyway, stay tuned. Pax Humana. Cheers.